Maurice Mitchell?
Marcus Mitchell.
Marcus Mitchell. I'm
Yes,
sorry, I
sir.
said Maurice.
No, that's okay. It's all right, sir. Thank you so much.
Have we met before?
I'm sorry, sir.
Have we met before?
You look familiar, yes, sir. I think so.
Okay, all right. God bless you all and good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the National Newspaper Publishers Association 2024 Legacy Awards. Give yourselves a round of applause. The 2024 NNPA Annual Convention Legacy Awards, and we're looking forward to a wonderful evening tonight. I want to just do something at the outset that is very important and significantly important to the person who did this as a gift to all of us here tonight. You all are about to be very, very blessed. But first, let me do this because I see some have already started eating. Lord, bless this food that we're about to receive, and some of us are already receiving, for the nourishment of our bodies and life everlasting. And the people of God said, Amen. You will notice within your napkins is a piece of kente cloth that arrived here direct from Ghana, our homeland. You know, we were kings and queens. Our history didn't begin in America. We were queens and kings before we got here, amen? And one of the things they did was take away our ancestral memory. That kente cloth is your gift to take home. So it's not a napkin. The napkin is the black part, but the kente cloth is for you to take home. Secure it now, don't drop it on the floor. That is a sacred piece representative of our ancestors. And the person who has gifted us with this cloth is someone we love and without whom none of these events, not to mention the day-to-day running and management of the affairs of the NNPA, would be possible. And that is our own Claudette Perry. And that's right. Where's Claudette? Claudette, stand up. Give her while she stands. I don't know if we can put a spotlight on her. Now, as you all know, Claudette has already announced her retirement. We're doing all we can to rescind that. 4 more years, 4 more years, 4 more years, 4 more years. But let me tell you how meaningful what Claudette has done. She wanted to give that to us. The weave in kente all has a meaning. Each weave has a meaning. And in the tree language from Ghana, which the people speak, the indigenous language, the kente that you have in your hands is pronounced this way, and I don't expect everybody to pronounce and remember it, but just so you know for the record. Adrini asa, Adrini asa, Adrini asa. And what that means is the mindset is finished. And we asked one of the brothers there who lives there to explain what that means. When we seek counsel of the elders, which we've forgotten how to do, but when we seek the counsel and wisdom of the elders and sit at their feet, and they give us advice on life or struggle or marriage, relationships, what have you, and we don't heed that advice, then when we go back to the elders, they will say to us, the mindset is finished. I have exhausted all I have given to you, all of the mind I can give you. And if you had followed what I had directed, you would not be in this position. So I think the lesson for us is, a lot of times as a people, we too often reinvent the wheel. And we don't need to do that. The blueprint has already been given, including those who started this great organization and started the black press, the African American press, 197 years ago. So take this kente home as a message. Du Bois even said that by the time the Greeks heard about Egypt, the whole of human ingenuity had already been exhausted. So even the technology we have today comes from that original technology from our people. And so know that the mindset is finished. We just have to, in the spirit of Sankofa, go back and fetch it. And so use this kente and take it home to your families as a reminder that everything we need has already been invested in us. Amen? The mindset is finished. Give Claudette another round of applause for this very generous gift she has given us. And now if you would pause for just a few moments from eating, and if you would please stand for our national anthem, played by our dear brother Maurice Mitchell. I'm sorry, Marcus Mitchell.
No, it's okay.
Marcus Mitchell. Give him a round of applause.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Let's hear it again for Marcus Mitchell. Thank you, brother. Indeed, indeed. As you continue eating, a couple of parts, we're just already just a teeny bit behind schedule. I'm going to catch us up and bring some of our presenters up now. We want to invite the chair and the local hosts of the committee that brings us here to Baltimore to come forward and greet you. And I presume that will be the Reverend Dr. Draper from the Afro. And which one is the publisher emeritus or the newly installed publisher, the Baltimore Times, going to come forward? You all going to, if you both need to come on up here, come on. Come on. Sister Paris of the Baltimore Times is going to, oh, are they everybody? Okay, good. Huh? Oh. Let's give the Afro and the Baltimore Times a round of applause as they come.
Good evening, everyone. Nice to see everybody well-dressed and behaving very, very well. We are really honored that all of you came to Baltimore. We love the Black press. We love you all, and we hope that you will return and spend some money in Baltimore.
Welcome and thank you.
So good evening. I'm a preacher, so I'm glad they were short.
We yield our time.
But seriously, we are so happy that you've come to Baltimore. This is day 4 of our time here. Pray that you've had a great time in Baltimore, that you've been able to, as Joyce said, that thank you. Thank you for that. I'm glad that you are here. Pray you had a good time. Enjoy tonight, and God bless you. Amen.
Well, you know, they gave me all their time, so I can.
We yielded back.
Yeah, I can be up here all night, but I won't. From the night or the day or that time that we arrived here in Baltimore, we were greeted in a manner that was befitting for a king. So I am grateful that the Baltimore Times, the Afro, that they painted the city welcoming the NNPA. So, as the chairman of over 250 black-owned media companies, I am strong. I'm strong because of the publishers, their staff, and their families. They chose me. And when you are chosen by such an illustrious group of individuals, you can almost do what you want to do. So, from the time we arrived at the city of Baltimore, City Hall of Baltimore, the mayor, Kwesi Mfumi, the ambassador from South Africa, and all those other dignitaries, when you are allowed to be a part of that, it does something to you. It really signifies that maybe this little country boy from North Carolina perhaps have arrived to some point, even though he is subjected to a governor like a Ron DeSatan. I might have said his name wrong. But I couldn't do any of this without a historical compass to be directed by. So that compass being none other than Dr. Benjamin Franklin Chavis Jr., who did time in order that I could be free, I am truly grateful. I was told there was 3 things, if I'm not mistaken, Dr. K said, you know, when you get a chance to speak, you have 3 points. She mentioned something about the roaches. Now, I'm going to do this. I'm going to tell you what I interpret the roaches to be, and then I'm going to take my seat after the 3 things. I know y'all eating your food and you want to get on with it. Listen to me clearly. Roaches. And I'm going to break it down. R-O-A-C-H-E-S. Roaches. Rotten, odorous, asinine creatures of hate, expounding sugar honey iced tea. Did y'all understand that? I dare not give that sugar honey iced tea its proper understanding because of the company I'm in. But coming to Baltimore, to the blackest city in the nation, reinvigorated me and gave me a sense of pride, gave me an understanding that I can go back to Florida, redirected with some energy to stand boldly on my 2 feet and proclaim that I am the chairman of 250 black-owned media companies who speak for the people that look like me, but everybody who doesn't look like me can understand it and hear what we're saying. So I am glad, I am proud, I'm just elated to be in this city. So I thank you for all that you do. Congratulations to all the winners of the Messengers Award, to the NNPA's Executive Committee, Dr. Francis Draper, Cheryl Smith, Fran Farrer, and Jackie Hampton, and the rest of the board. You all are some of the best people in the world, and don't let nobody tell you anything different. I love you, and there ain't a damn thing you can do about it but love me back.
Let's hear it for our host committee and our illustrious chair, Dr. Barbara Henry. And we're so thankful to be here in Baltimore, where much of our history has been made. Now we're in Baltimore. Next year, everybody know where we're going next year? Where? I didn't hear that. If you want to get a glimpse, even, what page was this on? 63. Go to page 63 and look at the setup they have for in Savannah for us. And here to welcome us to Savannah in advance is the associate publisher of the Savannah Tribune, Sister Tanya Milton. Please come forward, if you will, at this time.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to tell you all look beautiful. But I am so excited. I have breaking news. Breaking news. And it's wonderful news because it involves all of you. I want to extend an invitation to all of you to come to Savannah, Georgia, June of 2025. The Black press will be celebrating 198 years. Can we say 198 years? But more importantly, is the Savannah Tribune will be celebrating 150 years publishing. Yay, and I want you all to be there. We're gonna be celebrating with a biscuit brunch and a sneaker ball. So ladies, put on your high heel sneakers, because we're gonna have a great time. So I just want to let you know that's gonna be, NNPA will be celebrating the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but that Saturday, which is June 28th, on page 63 in your souvenir booklet is the save the date. And I just want you to mark it on your calendar. Do not miss this opportunity. It's gonna be so much fun. And I'm so excited that I have this opportunity to welcome y'all to my hometown, Savannah, Georgia. So save the date. I'll see you all June 28th. I'll see you all in June for the conference, and then we'll extend the conference one more day for our 150th celebration. Yay? All right. Yay.
Let's hear it again for Tanya Milton and Savannah and the Savannah Tribune. Thank you, and we look forward to it. We'll take a few moments to give you all an opportunity to enjoy the beginning of your dinner. We'll be back shortly, okay? As we all know, we are in the presence of greatness and history. First of all, being here in Baltimore. I failed to mention Paris, too. I want to remind everyone that tomorrow there'll be an opportunity to see the largest pop-up exhibit of African American art at the 301 Light Street Pavilion, very, very close by. It starts at 12:30, so you can go there before the buses leave for the cruise, or you can walk about 300 steps right to where we will meet the boat, or you can go right after the cruise. See Paris if you want more information. But it's starting at 12:30. Some of the artists who will be featured at the pop-up exhibit, a number of them, in fact, will be there for you to meet and greet in person. So we want to support black art. This is an historic city. Baltimore is a black city, one of the few. In my hometown, Chocolate City is more like chocolate chip now with all the gentrification, but Baltimore, and we're so thankful for the history Baltimore has and for the history our newspapers have, the Afro in particular, and its long, over 100-year legacy. Now, speaking of the Afro, some of you should have gotten an email from me this afternoon inviting you. We had the QR code up a little bit earlier, but the link is now in an email I sent you as the Afro is seeking to assist. We know their great archives project that we've seen here on display. They want to assist all of you other papers with your archives. Isn't that wonderful? And so we're thankful for the Afro. If you check your phones and you do not see an email from me, let me know tonight. Maybe we have the wrong email address. I sent over, Bob has sent 250 emails. That's how many papers we have. Now, also you got an email. Where's Sacramento? Yeah, there you go. Because you push this, brother. It's important because a lot of times we get away from each other, this stuff doesn't happen. Also sent the slides from the Google News Initiative presented today about next-gen news consumers. How many of you all were at that session? It was very enlightening, was it not? The slides now should be in your inbox. If you don't have those, let me know. Send that out to 250 people. And lastly, once again, those of you, this is Transformation Tech. At the moment, it's going to run out at the end of the year. And if you want to participate in Transformation Tech, go through the workshop, go through the cohort, get that $20,000 grant for your digital transformation. If you have not done so yet, please see me after as well, all right? So that's a little bit of housekeeping, got all the housekeeping out of the way. As I said, we're in the presence of greatness. We're going to give a Lifetime Legacy Award tonight. Someone who is still carrying out his lifetime legacy is our president and CEO. And we are streaming this live on multiple platforms. And for the record, I always like to give him a proper introduction because of his legacy and because of his history. Ben Chavis has been a freedom fighter all his life. From the time he was a teenager serving Dr. King as his SCLC youth director in North Carolina, to the time he was a political prisoner in Wilmington and having to be taken in a prison van to Duke to get his degree in shackles. He was still dedicated to his calling, and he did that. To the time he was a leader of the U.S. Commission on Racial Justice, to the time he coined the two phrases that have become popular in our lexicon today, environmental justice and environmental racism. Whenever you hear those are words first uttered by our president and CEO. To the time he made history when he was elected the president. At that time, it wasn't a president yet, it was an executive director, the executive director of the NAACP. And I just want people to know how important that was, because the NAACP had never elected someone who had his background, having been a political prisoner, having been locked up in prison, having participated in a great deal of the Pan-Africanist struggle going on around the world, from the Caribbean to Angola and South Africa. That was considered controversial unto itself at the time. To the time he was executive director of the Million Man March, which was really 2 million men on the National March. And now to the place where he is, no, I'm forgetting something, the Hip Hop Summit. This is the OG, y'all, himself. And he convened, that was another thing, he convened the young people and some of the young gang leaders and called and organized a truce 30 years ago last year between the Crips and the Bloods and the Gangster Disciples, so we could stop some of the violence in our streets. And now to this time, where he is not only the host of the Chavis Chronicles, available on all your PBS stations, not only the one who's about to release a book with Stacey Brown, we'll see Stacey in just a few moments, and of course to now being the president and CEO of the National Newspaper Publishers Association. Please welcome now our illustrious, accomplished freedom fighter, the Reverend Dr. Benjamin Franklin Chavis, Jr.
Good evening. This is another beautiful night, evening, day that the Lord have made. Whenever I stand, I always give God the praise and glory first. Thank you, Mark Thompson. Let's give Mark Thompson hands. He's a great MC. Officially in the NNPA, Mark Thompson is our Director of Digital Transformation. And he's been assisting our publishers to move into the digital space to generate additional revenue to keep our papers alive. Mark is also a distinguished clergy. He's getting ready to enter a PhD program. I always encourage our people to always strive. Don't be satisfied where you are. Always strive to do more and to get more. Now, I want to recognize our sponsors. I hope y'all are enjoying the food and the ambiance of this place. The Four Seasons Hotel is not cheap. But when we came to Baltimore, because of the following sponsors I'm going to read, all this has been made possible. We have 4 signature events in America every year. Once in January, once in March, once in June, and once in September with the Congressional Black Caucus. So first one, the category of our partners. These are major sponsors annually of the NNPA. First, let's give a hand to the Google News Initiative. Not only are they one of our largest sponsors, they're also one of our largest corporate advertisers. And we all know in the newspaper business, in the content production business, advertising dollars are really what keeps our businesses alive. So thanks to the Google News Initiative. Secondly, one of our long-term sponsors has been Reynolds. Let's give Reynolds a hand. They're in the house. We've done research with one of the largest pharmaceutical companies on sickle cell and on heart disease that disproportionately affects African Americans. Let's give a hand to Pfizer. Pfizer is one of our major sponsors. And of course, there's one sponsor here who's been a sponsor of the NNPA consistently for over 50 years, and that's General Motors. Give General Motors a hand. On your program book on page 48 is a list of all of our sponsors. So I'm just going to do this we'll try not to use too much editorial. Let's give Wells Fargo a hand. Of all the banks in America, Wells Fargo supports the NNPA. For the first time in recent memory, a campaign for the President of the United States as a sponsor of our national convention. Let's give it up for the Biden-Harris campaign. Biden-Harris 2024. All of us, no, not all of us, many of us are card-carrying members of the AARP. Let's give the AARP a hand. They are sponsors. I know Jocelyn's here. Let's give Nissan. Nissan is a automotive Nissan. Let's give them a hand. The American Petroleum Institute. Let's give them a hand. They've always sponsored us. And I see Tony Waller here. He's known him for many, many years. If you ever want something done at Walmart, you got to call on this brother. Tony Waller from Walmart. Let's give him a hand. And then the Bynum Foundation. Let's give them a hand for their support. The Bynum Foundation. And there's a new company that deals with solar energy. They are now supporting the NMPA Sun Run. Let's give them a hand. Comcast Universal, one of the largest advertisers in the NMPA. Give Comcast Universal a hand. They're based in Philadelphia, and of course, we wouldn't have that relationship without Mr. Bob Bogle, the publisher of the Philadelphia Tribune. Mr. Bogle, thank you for helping us with Comcast Universal. And then I hope, usually we pour the libations. Many of us have been drinking the libations tonight. Let's give a hand to Diageo. Diageo has been a sponsor. And then last but not least, the American Association for Cancer Research. Let's give them a hand. I appreciate all the nice things that Mark said about me. But the truth of the matter is, I'm a product of a family. I am a father, a grandfather, and a great-grandfather. And three of my children here tonight, I'm so proud of them: Anna, Franklin, and Reginald. So I have the honor now of bringing to the stage a young lady who has an awesome responsibility in the office of the public liaison of the White House, for the White House. Some of us have been in and out of the White House a lot in our news capacity. We do have a hard pass. Stand up, Stacey Brown. A lot of us don't have a hard pass to go into the White House every day to get the news. He's our national correspondent. So to bring us a special message tonight, I'm honored to bring to the podium Rodrika Applewhite, who is the director of Black Media for the Office of Public Liaison in the White House. Rodrika, please come.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rodrika Applewhite. I'm as President Chavis said, Director of Black Media at the White House. It's been an honor working with a lot of you in this room since I started last year, just making sure that we keep the community informed. So thank all of you for getting all of my emails. I know I send millions of them, but just really appreciate it. I just want to make sure I thank everyone. So thank you to President CEO Benjamin Chavis Jr., thank you to NPA Chairman Bobby Henry Sr., and Fund Chair Karen Carter-Richards, executive officers and board members of NPA, especially First Vice Chair Dr. Tony Draper with the Afro for hosting all of us in your beautiful city. And everyone in this room who has contributed to 197 years of Black press, and Stacy and Mark, who have especially made sure that we have White House officials on all of your outlets and platforms. So without further ado, I do have a letter from Vice President Harris, who could not make it this evening. So I'll go ahead from the Vice President. I'm honored to extend my warmest greetings to the leaders, members, and supporters of the National Newspaper Publishers Association as you convene for your 2024 Annual National Convention. Since its founding 79 years ago, the NNPA has remained steadfast in its commitment to supporting Black publishers. Your work helps ensure the communities gain critical knowledge and have access to accurate information on the pertinent issues impacting our country. As you know, the freedom of the press is essential to our democracy. I commend the efforts of the members of the NNPA as you continue to be trusted voices of your communities and tell stories that too often go untold. Thank you all for your work to uphold truth and to keep the public informed with your talent and diligence. I send my best wishes for a meaningful convention and a bright future ahead. Vice President Harris. Thank you.
Thank you, Rodrigo. Please let the Vice President know we send her our best wishes, and we thank you for the letter that she has addressed to the National Newspaper Publishers Association. Before I bring on our next guest, I would like for you to know, because I've been asked, do we have publishers here from all over the United States? The answer is yes. Mr. Chairman, Bobby Henry, who is the distinguished publisher of the West Side Gazette in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, I would like for all of our publishers to stand just so the crowd can see. Y'all look so nice, you're dressed. All the publishers of the NNPA, please stand. From the West Coast, from the East Coast, from the North, from the South, from big cities, from small cities. You do the work. You reach 50 million brothers and sisters every week. We're so proud of you. Thank you very much. Now, we've heard from the White House. I want to recognize that we also have a sister here from the DNC. We have 3 Black women representing various parts of this administration. Give it up for Tracy King from the DNC. Tracy, thank you for coming. Democratic National Committee. We'll be in Chicago for the convention. Now, I'm honored to bring special greetings from the Biden-Harris campaign. I mentioned to the publishers earlier that we will be receiving a special message from the Biden-Harris campaign, and they sent one of their best to speak on their behalf. Please greet and welcome Jasmine Harris, representing all of us, but particularly in the Biden-Harris campaign. Jasmine, come, please.
Hi, everyone. First, I just want to start off by saying thank you for having me and thank you for the work that you do. I know he mentioned that there would be a special announcement made, but I first want to take a moment to say that we all know the stakes of this election, particularly for our community. We feel it the worst whenever things go bad, and things can't be any worse than if we send a racist and a bigot back to the White House in the form of Donald Trump. And so we understand the role, the critical role that you all play in making sure that our message breaks through and gets to our community. And so thank you for the work that you're doing to make sure the message gets through and all the work that you're doing in your daily lives. And so on behalf of the campaign, this week we will be announcing a $1.5 million partnership with the NNPA to make sure that you all have the funding that you need to continue the work that you do on the ground, talking directly to our community. I am a native of Detroit, so I have to give a shout out to the Michigan Chronicle if they're in the building and all of the publishers in Michigan. And so thank you for the work that you do. We're really excited about this partnership. Dr. Chavez and Ron all have my contact information, so anything relating to the campaign, feel free to reach out, to call, text me, email, whatever you need. But like I said, thank you so much, because I understand how hard it is. I understand what needs to take place to make sure that our community understands the stake of this election. We cannot do this work without you, so thank you.
All right. Let's hear it for the Vice President. We can do better than that. First woman, first black woman, first Caribbean, first Indian vice president. And let's hear it for the campaign as well. And their commitment and their partnership, we know what has to be done. We know how important this is. And we also know how important each and every publication here is, as we are besieged all around, as we talked about today, by a great deal of disinformation and misinformation, disproportionately targeted at our people. Amen? So this is very, very important work that must be done. Let's give the White House and the campaign and the DNC around, so we're thankful. Thank you all for being here. And now, speaking of Stacey Brown, Stacey, who's our senior correspondent, he is the most prolific. He's writing every day, all the time. Stacey Brown will now come, as well as his right hand, the producer of Let It Be Known. Y'all gotta watch Let It Be Known every morning now and be a part of that. They'll be broadcasting from the convention. I'll be doing my show from the convention. We look forward to that. Please welcome Stacey and Greer as they come in their own way.
So it is absolutely a privilege to be up here tonight. Again, to see Roderica here and Jasmine. We work together all the time, and so this has been fabulous. But we're here to talk about something. We got a couple of surprises, and again, no, it's not here.
It was here.
So,
No, here it is.
right, y'all? Okay. There you go. So, about 3 weeks ago, Greer and I was invited by Erica Lowe, who used to have Roderica's job, and she's now working in the Office of Public Engagement at the White House, and she invited us to a special screening. Now, a big part of this convention, if you notice on the books, is talking about the black community, black families, and of course, the black vote. And so the thing about that is that our mission as the Black Press is to keep you informed. And we do that every morning thanks to the great job that Greer does as producer, director, and manager of Let It Be Known. We try to keep you guys informed. Mainstream media is not doing that. They have the resources that we don't have, but we are doing it with what we have, and we are doing the best that we can to bring you information. So I say all that to say that Erica was captured in a film called The Sixth. It's the truth about what happened on January 6, 2021. It's so courageous. And Greer and I thought we should make sure to honor Erica.
Yeah, and not just Erica. There was also a photojournalist, Mel D. Cole, right? We decided to develop this award. We wanted to create something original from Let It Be Known. So I want to say up front, this is Let It Be Known. We're a little bit more ratchet than NMPF.
Absolutely.
Okay? I just want to make sure I put that disclaimer out there. So anything you hear from us is coming
Not
from
necessarily.
us. Not Dr. Chavis.
Endorsed by the NMPA.
Exactly. Let's be clear. Right. Right.
But there you go.
The good doctor.
There you go.
And so, the what went behind developing this award was we really wanted to create space for Black perspectives about important things that happen in American culture. And this film was extremely impactful. If any of you have I think you should take a look at it if you've forgotten what happened. What moved us was just, as far as Erica was concerned, just, her story, right? And then Mel D's photography, a Black man. his photos have gone viral. And I don't think most people know that it was I didn't know until I saw this film that it was a black man who had done this work. So this is our first, is Erica here?
No, Roderica will be,
Okay.
we will call Roderica to action again.
Okay.
Okay.
And Mel, unfortunately, was unable to make it. But, so we just want to, give you a little taste of what we saw.
I heard the elevator open and I heard them come up the stairwell. And so we decided to stay in place, turn the lights out, and to just be as quiet as possible and to barricade the doors. I had to assume the worst. I had to assume these people were armed. You kind of go into survival mode. Like, I remember essentially casing the office, like, what can I use as a weapon? I remember feeling like whatever is in here that is heavy is what I will have to use, if it comes to that.
I'm like reliving it in my brain right now. Like, I have all of the frames just going in my head. The look on this man's face was, I am about to fucking die. You don't see police officers look like that very often. Police officers are stoic, proud, in control. This officer was not in control of a motherfucking thing. If they wanted to kill him, they would have killed him. The man pleaded for his life, told people he has kids. I'm thinking like, holy shit, this man is about to die, and here I am, about to capture this shit. It's kind of crazy.
Now, let me just say, for those who got, weak stomachs, this is what the man said, okay? So I apologize for the language if you're offended by it, but
And it should be noted, too, when we talk about Erica Lowe, Erica Lowe, at 25 years old, began taking care of her mother with Alzheimer's. It was just Erica. She had no help. And she was barricaded in Congressman Clyburn's office during January 6th. And if you watch the film, you will see, they capture all this on the film. She did not know, none of them knew that they were going to get out alive. The film tremendously and brilliantly captures Erica's journey. It captures her seeing this crowd come from the former president, the 34 times convicted felon, former president, the crowd that supported him coming to the Capitol, and she's watching out the window, and her thinking was, okay, they're not going to get that far. Okay, the Capitol Police got him, to, oh my God, I'm going to die. And it was a very emotional thing, but watch the film. I'm not going to say much more about the film, but at this moment, presenting our very first, Let It Be Known's very first award to a beacon of bravery and resilience. Say it, Greer.
What?
The name of the award.
Oh, The Future Goes Viral.
The Future Goes Viral.
Right.
Here to accept for Erica Lowe is none other than the wonderful Roderica Applewhite.
We're gonna have it. She can't come and pick it up. She can't pick it up. We're gonna give it to. Yeah, Erica. Oh, okay. We're not finished.
And we have something else right after this, though. Don't go nowhere. You have the award. And Mel could not be with us tonight, but we will deliver that to Mel personally as Greer gets the award. There we go.
Well, on behalf of Erica, thank you. I know she will really appreciate this. It has been an honor and a privilege to get to work with her and also watch the legacy she's left in this room. I hope I am doing it justice, but they are very big shoes, so please bear with me. But on behalf of her, thank you.
Okay, now, this award, we decided to, at the last minute. We did a show a couple of weeks ago with two legendary publishers, Robert Bogle and Sonny Messiah. And back in 1992, they didn't have social media. 94, they didn't have social media. And so I'm, a self-described black nerd. I sit around and watch old videos. And I came across this one some time ago. And sometimes when I want a good laugh, I watch it. And also when I want to be inspired, I watch it. So I'm going to play it. And so we did the show with him. And unfortunately, because Bogle's internet was not working well, we could not run the episode. So we're going to take this moment to have a good laugh. This is 1994, just so we're clear. To laugh and also be inspired.
Because it shows the strength,
Right.
too, and the togetherness and the unity of the black press and what we've always been. And this really has, like she said, been very inspiring. Does he have it?
Huh?
Does he have it? Yeah, here we go. I don't know that he has it.
He said he got it.
No,
Jay.
I don't think he has it. Well,
Jay has it.
Jay, do you have it, Jay?
Madam, I'm not committing anyone to speak for us, to us. In January of this year, opportunities were presented to the candidates who want to be the next president of the United States. An invitation was extended for this event and occasion. He reneged. It appears that the decision not to address you, the voice for over 30 million Americans in this country, our organization is moved to question Governor Clinton's commitment.
Reports that the governor refused to come because Lenore Fulani would be on the podium alongside him.
I don't know that to be a fact since I didn't hear that from the governor. I do also believe that would be an affront to an African American that he would not appear, and to a black woman in particular.
It's not only. Do you think this is more than a scheduling conflict?
I happen to know it is absolutely more than a conflict.
The bottom line is it shows disrespect and lack of consideration. A body of people who have traditionally voted very strongly Democratic. It is a commitment. It is a promise. It is the man's word. He has now broken his word.
Candidates don't make public appearances often.
We're not talking about a scheduling problem. We're talking about somebody not fulfilling their word.
Can you explain why you think it's more than a scheduling conflict?
Because we were on the schedule. If you're on the schedule,
You're on the schedule.
you're on the schedule.
Do you feel that this is not only an affront to the black press, but the black community as well?
If we are the voice of the black community of this country, who then is affronted? It would have to be this organization, its members, as well as the community to which we speak and speak for. Yes, Dr. Wyatt.
It's a question of integrity. And I would not like to see the white press put us in a box of defending our position.
We've been doing this since 1827. The white press and no other press can speak for the black press of America, and we are that. All 205 of us are strong, committed, and believing in what we do. It is a situation of which we will not tolerate standing up, sitting around, walking around, or going around. I can assure you, this is an issue of which we will bring to the country, to the African American community, and I don't give a damn about Bill Clinton if that's what he wants to say to my community.
So, absolutely. So, last night, Greer and I were shocked and surprised and very, very thrilled that we were honored. Well, tonight we wanted to surprise two of our distinguished publishers who showed what we still are today and what Dr. Chavis leads today, a powerful black press. We'd like to bring up the one and only Bob Bogle from the Philadelphia Tribune and Sonny Messiah Giles from the Defender Network. Where are you? I saw them somewhere. Ah.
Lord.
Okay.
Now, we know that there was a whole board behind them, but you know, this ward, I just wanted to tell you, we're calling this the, for keeping it gangster with Clinton and the campaign in '94.
Yes. So Mr. Bogle was outside somewhere, but well,
Where's Sonny?
And Sonny's outside somewhere? Oh, Sonny's gone.
Oh, she said she was going to be.
Okay, well, Mark.
Okay.
Mark will accept for them, and
Right.
so we don't hold the program up any longer. But thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And you know, we hope to give out more of these as the, in the coming years. All right.
Let's thank Greer and Stacy. And in absentia, so they can see it later when they watch the stream, let's give a round of applause to our two publishers, Mr. Bogle and Sister Sonny. Give them a round of applause, if you would. What year was that again? That was... Wow. It was in Baltimore? The conference was in Baltimore. Was that the last time the conference was here in Baltimore? Okay, so we were here 30 years ago. I got you, okay. Wow, that's something else. Mr. Bogle cursing out the president. Say what? Right, isn't that something? We've come full circle from 30 years ago, cursing out the president, to receiving and honoring the president tonight and having a partnership. You see how far we've come, y'all? I have to do one thing though. There he is, Mr. Bogle. Man. Come on up, Mr. Bogle. Stacy. Those stairs are steep. Those stairs are steep. Mr. Bogle, we just played a video you cursing out Bill Clinton. You missed it. Do you remember that? Remember when you jumped on Bill Clinton? He remembers it. That's an award for you, sir. Please, we want to Mr. Bogle, give him another round of applause. Still dressed the same, still clean. Three-piece suit and bow tie. Go ahead.
Wow.
Bow tie.
I was downstairs having a beer and a smoke. I'm not quite sure what to say or what this is even about.
You're being honored for cursing out Bill Clinton. Accept the award.
Well, for those who remember, when I was the president of NMPA from 91 and 95, Clinton was the president, and we had invited him, and he was not so gracious and even responded to our request. So I was at a meeting of the NMPA, and essentially what I said was, to hell with Bill Clinton.
Right.
And from that, he invited me back to the White House with then the Vice President Gore. So I want to thank you all very much. Long live the NMPA.
All right. All right. Come on. All right, let's hear it again from Mr. Bogle. Yeah. The White House and campaign staff, y'all didn't see that video before, did you? Right, they came on, they didn't see the video and then decided to come, y'all. They came anyway, isn't that wonderful? Again, thank you, Mr. Bogle, and God bless you. We now want to, I got to tell this one story though. Dr. Chavis, when he acknowledged me, you all, whenever he does that in this role, I get triggered. In 1996, just a couple of years after that, we convened the year after Million Man March, the National Black Political Convention in St. Louis. And I was in this role there as chair of the convention proceedings. And there was a very controversial person, not Clinton, but there was a very controversial person running for president as well. Y'all think back, you might remember it. I'm not going to mention his name right now. But he crashed our convention. And the convention split because those who were attending, the delegates, didn't want him to speak. Some said, let's be fair. Others said, no, he shouldn't speak. And I was one of those who didn't want him to speak, even though I was chairing the convention. And so I said to Dr. Chavis, I said, Dr. Chavis, I'm going to step down as chair because I don't even want to be in a picture with this dude. And he said, no, Mark, you got to stay up here, stay up here. Now, this was 28 years ago. And I know it's hard to believe because I was only born 28 years ago. But so Dr. Chavis insisted that I stay, but I refused. So I relinquished the chair and went and sat in the crowd with the delegates. And they didn't want this guy, and we were all out there chanting, we don't want him. So you know what my elder and mentor and friend Dr. Chavis did to me, y'all? When I went to sit in the crowd, that's why I get triggered whenever he acknowledges me like that about my chair duties. He said, y'all, hasn't Mark Thompson been an excellent chair? Let's bring him back up here so we can honor him. And he did that to me so he wouldn't be in the picture up there by himself with the guy, and I had to be in it. But that's how your friends do, y'all. But we've still been hanging together all these years. We're thankful for that. At this time, we're going to ask Dr. Chavis to come back and the chair, Bobby Henry, to come back up. We want to acknowledge, Bobby did it earlier, but we want to acknowledge his father as well, who's the founder of the West Side Gazette. There's family history. We heard a wonderful story about the family history of the Murphy family from Bishop Vashti Murphy McKenzie the other day, and how they grew up as kids in the black newspaper business. There's a lot of family legacy in here too, is it not? And so we're thankful when we hear those stories. Please, if you both would come so that we may present our Lifetime Legacy Award to our very esteemed honoree. Please welcome them as they come.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Members of the National Newspaper Publishers Association, friends, guests, ladies and gentlemen. On an annual basis, we give out a legacy award to a brother or to a sister who not only has made outstanding contributions to the uplift and the empowerment of our communities, but has also made contributions on the world stage as well. Being here in Baltimore, Maryland, we could not convene without pausing to recognize one of the greatest civil rights leaders this country has ever seen. We all have, I have, some quasi-informal stories before bringing him up. As a former head of the NAACP, he's also a former head of the NAACP, I was joking with him. I said, I think we need a national association of former heads of the NAACP. He will tell you, and I will share with you, it's not easy to head an organization of us. But it is a treasured responsibility, a treasured opportunity, because you get a chance to not only see the vastness and the depth of the culture of our people, the depth of the aspirations of our people to not only improve their quality of life, but you know, we are caring people. We want everybody to have improvement in their quality of life. And that's why, Mr. Bogle, when we have these forces who periodically try to take us back, who periodically try to make us feel ashamed of who we are as a people, we always have to pause to kind of renew, not just renew our faith, but renew our strength. And so, unanimously, our Zeta Committee decided that we're going to give the 2024 Legacy Award to the Honorable Kwasi Mfume, Congressman from the great city of Baltimore.
We got a video first.
Right. And Congressman Mfume, we're going to show a little short video of you before we take the podium. When we put the video together.
I rise today because I want to call the name of George Floyd. George Floyd, who lost his life this week because of a Minneapolis police officer. And George Floyd, who died for no known reason. He was not armed. He was not intoxicated. He was not aggressive, and he was not threatening. He pleaded for his life. He cried out for help. He groaned in pain, and then he died with his face pressed against the ground and the knee of a police officer against his neck. This was not an arrest. This was murder. It's the murder of George Floyd, and it ought to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. God, help us as a nation if we choose to be silent at this sad and tragic time. I yield back, Madam Speaker, the remainder of my time. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for what I consider to be a singularly unique award. There's nothing like this. And I say that because I know what you and your papers and your media outlets all over the country have done year after year after year. I want to thank NNPA, and in particular, I want to thank Dr. Henry for his leadership as chairman. My dear friend and former colleague, we're going to be locked together till we die, Ben Chavis, who I'm going to say something about in just a moment, and all of you who are officers and members of this esteemed association. I would be remiss if I did not call the name of Tony Draper, the Murphy family, and all that they have meant to me. The Afro-American newspaper birthed me. When I was a high school dropout, a teenage father, arrested 13 times by the age of 19. No skills, no future, no love, no community. My mother had died in my arms when I was 16 years of age. I was on my way to hell in a handbasket. And yet, it was the late Perrin Mitchell who reminded me why we are what we are, but what we are will allow us to become what we must. And so living on Division Street, 3 blocks from where Thurgood Marshall grew up, 8 blocks from the Afro-American newspaper, I became a paper boy, and I sold papers day after day after day to try to find a way to get back on track to take care of my younger sisters, all of whom were homeless following my mother's death. So when I say that this is a singularly unique award, for me it is. Because without the black press being able to read every day the issues and the stories, I wouldn't know half of what I know today. It was there when I learned about Jackie Robinson. It was the Afro when I learned about the great civil rights movement that began in 1954. It was there that, like so many of you, I saw story after story chronicled from a black perspective that I couldn't get elsewhere. And so when I say I want to thank Ben in particular, because you have reminded us over and over again that the years that he spent as a political prisoner, all those lonely nights in a jail cell, were not in vain. It became like so many other bridges for us to run across and get to where we are today. So if I say he was a stalwart in the storm, believe me, he was. He stood steady and steadfast through it all. And no matter how long the journey, cold the chill, fierce the enemy, or few the friends, he and others of that era captured our will to dare to be different and then to dare to make a real difference. It's the same difference that all of you are making. And I listened to Mark and realized the example that he's been with this organization in tough and difficult times. I'm just reminded that there's so many people that you've touched and are touching that makes a real difference. So going back to the Freedom's Journal and building a bridge from there to the Colored American, which was published, and a bridge from there all the way up to the North Star, you have such a rich legacy, such a rich history. And the good thing is that nobody can take it away from you. You've got the photographs, you've got the stories, you've got the memorabilia that no other outlet in this country can claim to have. And you have reminded people over and over again, trying to be straight and nonpartisan, that people who do not vote have no line of credit with the people who are elected, and therefore they pose no threat to those who would work against our daily interests. Thank you for driving that home over and over again with every get out the vote effort that you've ever been behind. So, for a race of people who have suffered, endured, and survived 3 centuries of slavery, oppression, deprivation, degradation, denial, and disprivilege, I am honored to be with you because you represented a voice when others were not out there, reminding us of who we are. It's kind of like Margaret Walker when she took pen to hand and she said, for the gone years and the now years and the maybe years, when we were washing and ironing and cooking and cleaning, sewing and weeping and never knowing, never understanding. She said, for those cramped, dark, bewildered years, when we went to school to learn the people who and the places where and the days when we were black and poor and small and different, and nobody wondered then, nobody misunderstood. This effort that you have been behind for all these many years is a God-sent effort. Please continue to do what you do every day that you can. There are so many young people now who are not looking in the right direction and who need the sort of stuff that you're made out of, that has allowed you to last for over centuries. And decades go by and new generations come about, but the role that you play in giving us a message from our perspective about who we are and whose we are will never be diminished. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very, very much.
So as the Honorable Congressman goes to his seat, I didn't tell you the Kwasi Mfume story. We all know how proud all of us were when in 1994, the Honorable Nelson Mandela was elected the first African president of the democratic South Africa after years of apartheid. After staying in prison 27 years, everybody thought Mandela was going to come out and just order violence. He came out of prison and decided that democracy was the future of South Africa. So in 1994, Kwasi Mfume and I, he was in Congress, I'm here at the NAACP, we got on an Air Force One plane. Congressman Ron Dellums was there, Dr. Dorothy Height, and on the way to South Africa and on the way back, we just had discussions among ourselves about the present and the future of black people, not only in Africa, but all over the world. The story is, when we got to Durban, I didn't know Kwasi could sing. You might remember. Congressman Dellums and Congressman Mfume created a duet. And then they sounded so good, others joined in, including myself. I can't sing. But I was so drawn into the magnetism of the harmony of their voices. It reminded me that, what if we all harmonize our voices? Not just one moment in history, but all moments. If there ever was a time that we needed to vote, it's now. If there ever was a time that we need to vote together in harmony, it's now. So actually, when the executive committee decided to give this brother this award, I wanted to say to you, my dear brother Congressman, your name epitomizes what it means to be a strong brother, a strong black man, at a time when mainstream media is trying to tear down and try to divide the strength of black women from the strength of black men. And so I'm asking all of us tonight, let's sing together. Let's harmonize together. Let's vote together.
All right. Once again, a round of applause for our Lifetime Legacy awardee, Kwasi Mfume, for our chair, and for our president. You know, this is a couple things, and the congressman and I have discussed this. He mentioned Perrin Mitchell and his influence on him of the great Mitchell family in Baltimore. Former Senator Michael Mitchell was here with us the other night, and he was going to join us tonight. He has a little bit of a cold, so he thought it best to stay home. But in honor of his father and Perrin's brother, Clarence Mitchell Jr., we have begun a conversation about having Clarence Mitchell Jr.'s bust or statue built in the U.S. Capitol. He, after all, was the 101st senator. And I've already spoken with a number of people about it, and they all say the same thing, because we want to be sure we had everybody on board. Speaker Emeritus Pelosi, who grew up here with the Mitchell family, Senator Van Hollen from Maryland, even President Biden. I cornered him one day, Roderick, without your permission. We were just in the same place. I should have checked with you, but I said, man, come and talk to you for a minute. And I said, we need to get Clarence Mitchell Jr. get his bust in the Capitol. And the president said this to me himself, and he said it to others. He pulls out of his pocket the Constitution he carries. And he said he still has that Constitution because that's the one Clarence Mitchell Jr. gave him. But we know Clarence Mitchell's role, often an unsung role. He was working the halls of Congress. He wrote the 64 Civil Rights Act, helped with the 65 Voting Rights Act, and then ultimately the 68 Fair Housing Act, among others. But everyone, even President Biden, said, because of the jurisdiction that we're in and the protocol necessary, and because of the relationship, as he mentioned, parent, all of them said the same thing to me. Mark, let's get Kwesi to lead it. He needs to lead it. And so we've been talking about that, and I want to applaud him for that as well, for helping to head that up. We're trying to figure it out. So thank you for that. Secondly, I hope any of our DTU scholars still here? Any of them here? If they're not here, if they're watching, again, here's another legendary figure who got his start working for the black newspapers. And he was a paper boy. All of us, many of us came up that way. And lastly, I'd be remiss if I didn't give you all a little intersection of history. And a lot of this, we need to write about this and document it. We think we can find, we're working on finding some of the videos. But it's not too well known that when Kwesi Mfume was the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus in '93, and Dr. Chavis was the head of the NAACP, they did something that had never been done before. And it first happened at a CBC weekend. All of the black leadership in the country, the heads of every black organization, came together at the Washington Convention Center to talk about, in Malcolm X's words, finding common solutions to common problems. And it was without a lot of fanfare. Some folk were in the room who had never met, and not just civil rights organizations. There were black professional organizations like the National Association of Black Social Workers, the NMA, the National Bar Association, the Panhellenic Council. Everyone was there. And we had never had a meeting of that large size with that diverse a group of people. Normally it's civil rights organizations and professional organizations over here, but everybody was together. That led, under the auspices at that CBC legislative weekend, under the auspices of the chair at the time, Mfume, those meetings then continued on a regular basis at 4805 Mount Hope Drive here in Baltimore. And it gave way ultimately to an organization that would be called the National African American Leadership Summit. But just to give you an idea of the stature of the people that were in the room, and again, even though I wasn't born, I was there. I was a very young person. It's 30 years ago. For me to sit in the room at the NAACP headquarters next to Dr. Betty Shabazz and Coretta Scott King and Merle Evers, and we're just casually talking about what we're going to do with ourselves. And our great scholars were still with us. Dr. Yosef Ben-Yakin and Dr. John Henry Clark. Reverend Jackson was there. Everyone was there. And it was a great time. We are, Dr. Chavis and I, on a project right now to try to find, all of that was recorded. And we're trying to find some of those videotapes. But it just goes to show you, it started under the auspices of the CBC chair, continued under the auspices of Dr. Chavis, the head of the NAACP. And then, after Dr. Chavis left the NAACP, the CBC chair became the head of the NAACP. And now here we all are back here together. So this is truly a full circle historical moment. Amen? So I just wanted to share that with you. It's always important that we document our history. We are thankful to all of you for being here. This has been a tremendous convention. Would you not agree? It's not over yet. We have a schedule tomorrow. Don't forget what I said about the largest pop-up exhibit of black artists, 301 Light Street Pavilion. I remember 12:30 to 2:30. All right, that's tomorrow. Meet the artists, but you can go after the cruise if that's more convenient. It's just steps from where we're on the cruise. We're also going to hear Dr. Bramble's son. He won't be there. I have to correct myself. But his lieutenant will be. Dr. Bramble's son is working on reclaiming that harbor, which was a repository for our black bodies when we came here on the ships, from shackles to ownership, from slave ships to ownership, so that we can rebuild that harbor and that we could have black ownership, black business. We still need that, as we all know. Lord have mercy. So that will be tomorrow. Again, Transformation Tech. See me. Check your email. If you did not receive 2 emails from me today, please see me after on Google News Initiative and on the Afro surveying each and every one of us about our individual, our respective papers, archives, so they can help out with that, with all the great work they've been doing on behalf of their own. They want to spread the love. Dr. Chavis said, let's all sing, let's all vote. Can we all dance? That cool? We can do that too? So here comes the part where we do that. God bless you all. Thank you for coming for dinner. It's now my pleasure to introduce 00 Entertainment in a tribute to Frankie Beverly, featuring the DMV's own Paul Bumby. Please welcome 00. All right, I just need to give a little more logistics. What time do we meet for the boat? 3 o'clock. 2 o'clock. All right, 2 o'clock downstairs for the boat. Consult your, to be driven. Not you can't get on the boat from downstairs, of course. The 2 o'clock downstairs we'll meet. We'll drive to the boat, right? Consult your program, please. For what time is breakfast in the morning? 8:30. 9. A little bit later. Get up at 8:30 all week. 9 o'clock. Okay, but please consult your programs. Thank you.
right there. Come on. Thank you kindly, y'all. Oh, we're gonna take you back to 1989 right here, guys. Real pretty soon. family, everybody. Yeah. Oh, for all the Frankie fans that made it out one time, y'all. We'll do one of my favorites here. party going up front here. Chandler, yeah. Woo. Got the real Maze fans sticking around, huh? What's next to? We're going to take you back to 1985. This is the second #1 R&B hit by Maze, guys.